Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is November 2nd, so game day. Basically, all the news is normally on game day, it's just game day news, but today is a bit different, so we're gonna talk a bit about that, just move away from the game day and how we need to beat Zenit and how we need to play, because we talked about that over and over again for the last couple of days, and I think we will keep talking about it even in today's post-game match. So we're just gonna move away from that for this video. I'm just gonna talk about basically some interesting news coming out today on Pogba, on Rovella, and Marquisio saying some weird things. So yeah, as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you get a notification when we go live and when we drop a new video. So the first news, as you all can see, is about Pogba. I know people will say, not again, it's basically every summer since he left. Like, even after the first season, there were rumors that he wanted to come back. So again, every transfer window, his name pops up. I would say like 60% of the Juve fan base will take him back, and 40% will say nah, like time to move on and stuff like that. I will read the news and then I will give basically my opinion. So the news is from Gazzetta dello Sport, saying Pogba is giving his priority to Juventus despite interest from Madrid and PSG. The contacts over the last weeks have been frequent, in order to get to the heart of the matter. However, the club needs to sell. Cherubini is working on getting Ramsey off the books in January, saving the club over more than 8 million euros net a season. So, I think you need to get Ramsey off the books either way. So I don't think that's like, I don't say not relevant, but it's just like obvious. Like you need to get him off the books, like 8 million euros. It's more. I think Romeo said once it's more than 8 million euros net a season that Ramsey's earning. That's insane. Like, he's not even playing. He's not fit, and when he's fit, he's on the bench. So yeah, we need to move on. There are some rumors that they are going to end his contract without needing to pay him out. The sources are not the best sources. So I don't know. They're saying he's okay with leaving the club only if we pay his manager another 3 million euros. So let's see how that's gonna pan out. Now back to Pogba. I like Pogba, but he's turning 29, I think. He should be in his prime of his career. And since ever since he joined United, he's very inconsistent. He's still on his day, like he's unplayable on his day. When he plays for France, he looks like the Pogba that played for us a few years back. So I still think he can make a big difference, especially if you look at our midfield. Like, he will be the best midfielder by a country mile if he joins us. Again, I know the club is going on the younger and cheaper route a bit. He's free. Now, people will say you need to pay Raiola. Yeah, you do. It will be probably 25 million euros. Something like that. Like, something stupid like that. I say stupid, but on the other side, you pay 25 million euros for Pogba, basically. That's a steal. Like, let's be real. We paid 37 when we pay for Locatelli. I like Locatelli, but like, if you get Pogba for 25, just paying agent fees and stuff like that, then I think that's a no-brainer for me. Now, when you think about his wages, the report also said that he needs to take some pay cuts. So I don't know how much he is at United. I think it's 50 mil or 16 mil net a season. So the reports are he needs to take a pay cut, something around 13 And even then, I think, how is that possible? Like, we have De Ligt on almost 10, plus 2 in bonuses. Dybala is going to sign a new deal at 10. You have Rabiot at 7.5. Like, you have Soundrens. We have high wages on the books at the moment. So you need to get rid of those wages. Bernadeschi's leaving. He's on almost 5. De Chilio is on almost 3. So he's gone. So if you think about that, then maybe it makes a bit more sense. But I don't see it happening. First of all, I believe that when the reports are saying Pogba wants to come back, I believe that. Like, I'm not shocked if he prefers to come to the club where he was feeling, I think, amazing. He was feeling great. Like, he was appreciated by everyone at the club, not just fans, also Agnelli, and we all know he's not an easy guy, like, to basically pursue. Like, we know how he thinks about Del Piero and other players. Like, he doesn't have many preferred players, but he was very close to Pogba, and he liked him. So maybe that's something that's basically pulling Pogba back to the club. But that's not enough. At the end of the day, if you're gonna say to me, no, we are just 30 million euros a season, that's it, and PSG saying we can give you almost 20 mil, or Real Madrid, I don't think even wanting to come back to Juve is enough. Like, it's almost a double money. So I don't know. I don't think it's true, but these rumors will be out there until the end of the season, just because he's a free agent. So the rumors will be there. Let's see, but I would take him back, but I don't see it happening for many reasons. Probably you guys in the chat can give me more reasons on why it's not going to happen. But he will be a massive upgrade on our midfield. Like, let's be real. If you can move on Ramsey, McKennie, Rabiot, and you bring in a Pogba and even a Rovella, because that will be the next news, our midfield would have a massive upgrade. So it's a deal we should be looking at, because he's free basically. Even if you need to pay the agent fee, it's very cheap. It's Mino, so you can basically cut some costs because we brought in Iataren. That was definitely a present for Mino, just taking him away. I don't think the club has any plans with Iataren. It's just they did it for Mino. So you never know. Let's see. I still think it's not possible. I think we will sell a big player, and I think it's De Ligt. Maybe then things can change. But I don't know. I prefer to keep De Ligt and go for other midfield options if that's a sacrifice you need to make to bring Pogba back to the club. But again, let's see. We move on basically to the next news, which is also very relevant. Because I see in the chat many people saying bring Rovella back. Even in the comment sections on social media, it's all bring Rovella back. He's having a great season. I think this weekend again he played good. Like, Genoa as a team look awful, but he as an individual looks very good. Like, the steps he made compared to last season are almost unbelievable. Because last season I was looking at him and I was thinking, oh, he's not gonna make it. Like, not anytime soon. Because I remember the game also he played against us. He got subbed off, and I think in the 50th minute he was nowhere. Like, he was struggling big time, and that was against a struggling Juve side. So again, I think he's ready. I've always said keep him at Genoa until the end of the season. Don't bring him in because we're not a steady club. Like, we don't play steady football. It's all over the place, and we will get there in a moment. Because Marquinhos said basically the same thing, but the report is, okay, is Giacomo. People say, who is that? I think he's very good. You can follow him on Twitter. I think he's very good with news. With Juventus news, he doesn't get... It's not like he breaks the fancy news, but he breaks the news that maybe in 2 or 3 weeks' time, you will say, oh, he was right. Like, he wasn't lying. So I'm just giving you the news. He said Rovella is on loan at Genoa until the end of the season, but a private agreement can bring him to Juventus right away. So there is some sort of basically verbal agreement between the two clubs and the managers. and the player that says like you can come back in January. I don't know what the cost will be, or is it including a player? I don't know. But according to Giacomo, the option to bring Rovella back in January is there. Now, I'm still saying, like, if he's coming and he is like, let's say we still need to play in January, 19 games, Coppa Italia. Let's say there are still 25 games to play, and he is only going to start 4 of them, and he's gonna get subbed on 6 of them for the last 50 minutes. I would say don't do it. Just leave him at Genoa. Let him play the entirety of the season. Let him keep improving. If you're gonna bring him back and you're planning to start him, like when the season goes on, you're basically, the plan is he's going to become a starter. Then maybe just bring him back, because he is your player. Like, you don't need to spend money on a player you don't really need, because again, I don't see us in January going out and splash the money for Gravenberg or Tchouaméni, also because those clubs are not going to sell, and if they're going to sell, they're going to overprice him. You need to overpay, because it's mid-season. They also need to replace him. They're in title contention. Ajax, Monaco was playing for the 4th place, so that's my thing. If you're bringing him back and the plan is to not play him every game, not every game, but the plan is not to make him like a starter, then don't do it. Like, it's hindering his growth. He's growing very good at the moment. Then I prefer, if you're not gonna start him, like a decent amount of games, just let him grow at Genoa. If the plan is he's going to become a starter before the end of the season, like that's the plan, then maybe you should pull that trigger and bring him back. But let's see. I think also a lot of will depend on if you can terminate Ramsey's contract. If maybe you can sell McKennie in January, which for me is becoming more and more unlikely, because at the start of the season I thought McKennie messed up for Allegri. I think he was done, but the last few weeks and also the way he talks about McKennie, I think he's coming back into the picture. I don't know if that's a good thing. Let's see. But I don't think we're going to sell Ramsey in January. McKennie. I think it's only Ramsey if you're going to sell one player or just move on from a contract. But let's see. Again, I like Rovella, but it needs to be at the right conditions for him, like playing wise. That's it. Now we move on to Marchisio, who has, I think he has a deal with Gazzetta dello Sport, because before every Champions League game, there's an interview with him in the Gazzetta dello Sport, so I think it's a thing. He said some, I would say controversial things, and some things we all said. So he said the situation is complicated, it would take time, but there isn't any, because in November the team should have been further ahead. They need to recover the will to win. We only have 15 points after, I think, 11 games. That's insane. Like, we dropped so many points against teams you should just beat. And again, the club's going into Retiro. I don't think that's going to make a big difference, because going off the predicted lineup, it's just going to be the same 4-4-2 with the same players, the same style of play. So I don't think it's going to help a lot. Like, again, I said it. Yeah, attitude is one thing, and that needs to be changed, but that goes as far as it goes. Like, at some point, you need to be creative. Like, you need to have a style of play. You cannot just hope Dybala scores a goal, or Chiesa does something crazy and scores a goal. Like, you're not gonna turn this around by hoping. But again, he also said Allegri has the experience to fix things, as do the players, who are responsible people as well as capable. I don't know about some of these players being capable. I'm not gonna lie. I think some of these players are capable for the level we are at now. But if you want to move up a level, I don't think they are very capable. I will not mention any names, because we have done that time. Like, it's basically repeating ourselves. Then he said, he said, I often hear people say that the squad is poor, but that's not true at all. There are European champions and others who play for important national teams. Many of them can give us a boost. I said that before. I don't understand people using, oh, but they play for the national team, so they're good. Like, I don't understand that. Like, Rabiot plays for the national team because Deschamps love them. He plays him at left back. He plays awful at left back. He still plays him at left back. So it's favoritism. Like, Bernardeschi gets called up for Italy. Bernardeschi is not good. Emerson plays for Italy. Emerson is not great. Toloi played for Italy. Like, these players are not great. It's not because you're getting called up that you're an amazing player. That's not true. So I don't agree with him at all. Like, Ramsey, McCann, they all play for the national team, but that doesn't mean a lot in my opinion. Like, I don't know what to say about it, because I see many people saying that, and I get some part of it, like, oh man, they play, like, we have 18 internationals, 18, and sometimes I'm shocked, like, how do we have 18 players being called up every time? If you just look at the quality of some of our players, it's insane. But that shows you that being called up for a national team is not really a big thing. Like, it doesn't mean you're an amazing player. Brazil called up Coutinho over Vinicius, and if you look at the way how they're playing and if they're playing, it's insane. It doesn't mean Coutinho is a better player than Vinicius at the moment, which he's not. So I don't agree with that. Then he said, after the bad start, Juventus had found a minimum of balance, but not a real identity. Almost every game we see different formation, which means that Allegri is not found his 11. Perhaps this really is year zero. And that's what I said after we lost against Verona. I made a mistake by saying, oh, I think we found the right balance for this team. Like, we are very hard to beat, but we are not. I think we're so very easy to beat. I made a mistake. That's why I said I'm going to go game by game, not looking at the standings, because it doesn't help us. Like, if we keep performing like this, looking at the standings does us nothing. Like, until we get our act together, looking at the standings, other results is meaningless, in my opinion. But again, I thought we found a balance when we were winning those games 1-0. And I was wrong. Like, many people were wrong. That's why I don't know what this Retiro will do to the club, because they have shown they can go on a good run and then just collapse again. So I don't know. Let's see. Then he went on saying, I don't see. Oh, that's my favorite quote. Wait, he said, I don't see this Juve as a one that came back in the 2015-2016 season. If anything, I see a lot in common with Del Neri's Juve, who finished 7th in the league. And this must be a wake-up call. Why is this my favorite quote? Because I see so many people grasping at straws here, saying, oh, it's like 15-16. We lost against Sassuolo, we went into Retiro, we came back, we won games. We can still do this. We were more points behind back then, or stuff like that. Man, that squad was better, and not quality for, like, player for player, but just as a unit. They were coming from winning seasons, like playing Champions League finals. Like, it's the situation is completely different. Like, last season needs to be taken into considerations. These are the same players, even under Sarri after the lockdown. Most of them are the same players. So it's not 2015-16. It's not even close. I know people are just grasping at straws here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. I think it's better to just face the reality. That will help the club more. Like, I don't think the club is thinking like this, or the players, because that will be a mistake. It's not the same. Just player-wise, like personnel-wise, and the way we play and stuff like that, from the moment we are in and where we are coming from after these bad seasons. So I agree with Marquisio here, 100%. Like, to be honest, it does remind me of Del Neri's Juve. It's basically the same thing. But yeah. And then his last quotes were, he was saying, oh, these are very strange. One of them is strange, and one of them he's spot on. So he said, there's a lot of talk about the midfield, but I think Juve's problems are lying more in attack than in midfield. And I understand where he's coming from, but he's wrong. Like, let's be real. Our midfield is quality-wise very poor. Has been poor for 3 years now, at least. Many will say 4. Just look at the players we have. It's not good enough. When you have that type of midfielders, that type of midfield, many attackers will struggle. That's just a reality. Many attackers will struggle, and they're struggling now. So I don't really like. I see what he's trying to say, but he's wrong. Like, our midfield is changing every game because Allegri has no clue what his best combination is, because every time he plays someone, he lets him down. So I think the midfield is the biggest problem. And I know Morata's playing awful, but you can make it through the season with Morata just if he picks up his normal form and Dybala and Chiesa around him, but you cannot make it through a season with changing up your midfield, because you don't know which midfielder is the best combination, like which midfield is the best combination. So it's a bit of a weird statement. And then he finished by saying that this was the best thing he said. So he said, in 3 years, the team has changed the coach 3 times. This is disorientating. Look at Pioli's Milan. They rebuild, they struggle, but they have worked to find their identity. They don't have a stronger squad than Juve, but they know how to impose their game. And that's so spot on. I think we have said that. Also, you in the chat have said that so many times. Like, changing coaches every season doesn't make sense, because people are saying now Allegri out. That's not gonna help us. Like, a lot of these players are the same. So at some point you also need to blame the players. Like, 3 seasons now, same thing. So, but again, I agree. We have more quality player than Milan, but they're so well drilled. Everybody knows what to do. Like, the win games they shouldn't be winning like we did in the past. Like, they are a title contender, a real title contender, and we are just messing about. Like, players not playing for the club, basically just, I don't know what they're doing. But at Milan, like, even they have so many injuries and they just keep performing. Like, everybody, even who's coming from the bench, who players that almost never play, they all know what they need to do. Like, they all know the job, the assignment, they know how we play. It's the same thing over and over again. With us, it's not. We change so much. Allegri needs to find one starting 11, and he needs to build on that. Like, he needs to play one thing and then pick out things, because he's chopping and changing so much every game. It's becoming too much now. But I agree with Marquise. I think we all said it. Like, consistency is the most important thing in football. Changing coach every season is not gonna win you in the long run. You might win the odd trophy here and there, but just to build a sustainable success, I don't think that's the right way to go. So yeah, that's news for today. So Pogba, Rovella, and Marquisio saying some good things and some very strange things. But yeah, that's it. Game day today. 1 point and we are through. 1 point that will make us a total of 25 mil. That's a lot of money we need. I'm not really confident going off the last few games. I don't think this team can switch the flip once again. Just go out there and just slap Zenit. That's not gonna happen in my opinion. We will struggle. Also, Zenit scored 11 goals in the last 2 games. That's insane. But yeah, let's see. Let's hope for the win. Let's hope this team can turn this around once again and keep going on the right path, and not just win against Zenit and go in the weekend and lose against Fiorentina. I mean, that would be a very disappointed thing to experience once again. But let's see. So as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Post game tonight, reactions, player ratings, as always. See ya.